Did we redo that?
What?
I zoomed in way too far.
Oh my god.
The 3's not good.
Carly messed up the filming. Start over. Alright, we made it to Menards. We're gonna pick out the wood that we need, and I think this wood right here is gonna be absolutely perfect for what I'm looking to do. Yeah, so we got 1/4 by 2x4 for 14 bucks, and then we got 1.5 by 2x4 for 20 bucks. So overall, just 35 bucks, unless you gotta buy a couple 2x4s, which are about 6 bucks each. So the jump will be right around $40 or less, depending on what wood you have at home. Alright, let's head back to the ranch and build this thing. Alright, once you get home, you're going to take your piece of plywood and measure about 12 inches up on one side and a 1/2 inch up, and then take a 2x4 and draw a line straight across there, and that's going to be the side of my jump. And then you're going to take the saw, cut that line, and then you're going to take this piece and then trace it onto this side. Like this. This is the side that I just cut off. I'm going to flip it around, put it right where I just cut, line those two corners up, draw a straight line, and I'll saw that, and that'll make sure I have the exact same shape for the opposite side. And it'll also save me this other half of perfectly flat wood in case I need that for anything else later, some other project. Alright, now I have my two sides of the ramp in perfect unison. Alright, next you're going to take a 2x4 and put it down on this side, like this basically. And then I'm going to draw a line right there in the middle, and then I'm probably going to cut this side off. So it's just going to be like this. And then I'm going to be drilling a piece of wood in like this, right there. And that's going to be the front of the jump. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other piece of wood too. I just sawed those ends off, and now I'm ready to install the 2x4s. Alright, now you're going to take about two 2x4s and saw them into 23-inch lengths. Like this. I had a bunch of scrap wood, so I got about 7 pieces here. So maybe it's 7 or 8 or 9 pieces of 23-inch 2x4s. And then we're going to put them into the ramp with screws here, in the middle, on the end here, on the top here, and then evenly distribute them throughout the top of the ramp right there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put as many as you have on top. So 5, 6, 7, or 8 up there. For this next part, you're going to need a drill, an impact driver, and some screws. This is what it looks like so far. I got the back brace screwed in, 2 screws on each side, and then on the front you're going to put the 2x4 flat so that the front of the jump is as flat as possible. And I'll keep going and then I'll show you what it'll look like next. Alright, I just flipped the ramp over, so this is the bottom actually, and so this is going to be a good way to get all of these 2x4s that support the top of the ramp to be perfectly flush with both edges of the ramp, so that the plywood that goes on top goes on perfectly straight. I got all those top pieces in. Make sure you measure them out with a measuring tape and make them equal distant to each other. I mean, it's not really that important, but you may as well. Actually, this middle one wasn't, because this thing was in the way, so. Oh, I actually didn't put the screws all the way in yet, just in case I had to unscrew them and fix anything. So this plywood should go on perfectly. Everything is perfectly flush with this plywood, so I think I'm going to move on to the next part. I'm going to saw off a couple inches here of this so that this plywood is flush with this. Saw that off. And then it'll actually be raised up on this side, kind of like this, about the height of a 2x4 plus 1/4 inch. But that's fine because it's a Sur Ron with big tires, so it can roll right over that. I might just have to put a little dirt in front of this, or like a smaller piece of wood, like a strip of wood that I can just float around and just throw in front of the jump. All right, take your slab of plywood here, line it up perfectly, drill it, and then screw it on. And screw it on where all your 2x4s are. You can see the screws, so screw into that same line. And then you're pretty much done. Uh-oh, we got a horse on the loose. Come on, horsey. Come on. Go that way. Horsey. Alright, I got the ramp all finished, totally done. I put a nice little sticker on there, customized it. Now Carly, you're going to showcase the ramp, flip it over, and see if it can hold weight. Jeez, that didn't sound good. Careful! Okay, do you think it can take our bikes? Oh my god.
I think it'll be good to go.
Don't break it. Alright, how much air do you think you can get on this thing?
A lot.
Alright, let's go test it. Alright, the jump is structurally sound. So if you have any questions, ask me in the comments and I'll tell you how to build that jump. See you in the next video. Bye!